Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. So, our opening hymn is going to be two opening hymns. I'll teach you both, and then we're going to sing them both at the same time. So, choir, if you move over, please rise in body or in spirit. The first one goes like this. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. We must take care of her. Let's sing it again. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. We must take care of her. Here's the next one. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Hey ya, 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 hey ya. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I hear your heartbeat. Hey ya, 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 hey ya. Let's try both. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. We must take care of her. One more time. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. We must take care of her. Nice.
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, where we are transforming lives all of the time by taking courageous action and making soulful connection. I am Reverend Terrence Strauss, Senior Minister here at UCA, and I welcome you to Earth Day at UCA, to Earth Week as well, where we are honoring our seventh UU principle, honoring our connection to the interdependent web of existence and our part in it as protectors, healers, stewards, and co-creators. And we are grateful for our climate action team, who we will see up here in a few minutes, for all of the work that they do to honor our seventh principle, to make our earth more livable for more beings. And we welcome today our children and youth who are joining us today for our fully multi-generational worship to this entire service, which revolves around a big story we can all learn from: the tantrum at the end of the world. And I want you to know this is also our religious education teacher recruitment season. This is our time of year when we are recruiting for religious education teachers who can serve our congregation with your guidance. So this may be you. If you're a longtime member or a new member, we are still talking about you. So you can serve our congregation with your guidance your wisdom, and your caring presence with our children and youth so that we together can continue to build a thriving community of families, of children, and youth at UUCA. And we would like to thank Michael Dangerfield for donating our beautiful flowers this morning in honor of his mother's birthday. I know, the flowers. I love, take a bow. Flowers. I love applauding flowers. It's great. And today is also our flower communion service. So on this day, as we celebrate the earth, its beauty, we also celebrate the Unitarian ritual, tradition, and ceremony of flower communion. So you can see all the beautiful flowers, and we'll get into this in a little bit later. But for now, I would like to invite Ellis Denard and the entire Denard family to come forward and light our chalice this morning as we all say our chalice lighting words together in just a moment. May the light
Of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
Our story this morning is The Tantrum That Saved the World by Megan Herbert and Michael E. Mann. There we go. Kai was minding his business one day when, quite without warning, a bear came to stay. The ice that he lived on had ceased to exist. He hoped that Kai would kindly assist. Startled and flustered, Kai said,
No,
but the bear came right in.
I've got nowhere to go.
More out-of-towners arrived needing aid, asking if it was all right that they stayed. Somehow the seas have flooded our land. The kids ran right in. They were quite out of hand. Kai attempted to turn them away.
We've got nowhere else.
Was all they could say. Surprising arrivals showed up all day long. A sad swarm of bees had not one idea if spring had just come or if fall was quite near. A pale pink flamingo, hungry and weak, bugged a sea turtle whose outlook was bleak. Both were upset that the sites of their nests were being disrupted by unwanted pests. Farmers whose farmland was withered and dry griped with the seamen who couldn't get by. Where had the fish gone? Where was the rain? They wanted to work more, not sit and complain. A large Bengal tiger shuffled with dismay. Everyone wisely stayed out of his way. They all turned to face Kai with hope in their eyes, expecting him to halt their demise.
I'm just a kid. What can I do? Someone must help us. It's now up to you.
Kai, by this time, felt nothing but stress. His day was disrupted. His house was a mess. He had no idea how he ought to begin to help them all out of the bind they were in. Unable to put up a front anymore, he went to his bedroom and slammed shut the door. Hiding and fretting, He couldn't think why these folks were resolved to grate up his sky. He wanted to scream, to act uncontrolled. But tantrums were pointless. That's what he'd been told. Still, it wasn't Kai's fault they were in strife. He'd tell them politely to
get out of my life.
But what he saw next brought Kai up short. They weren't here to spite him. They needed support. All of a sudden, the boy understood.
Goodwill costs nothing and does nothing but good.
Now that he'd realized compassion was key, Kai would call on the powers that be.
Let's go. Next stop, City Hall. The grown-ups will sort this mess once and for all.
So what do you think? Do you think the adults will sort this mess out? Well, we'll have to wait and see for the next part of the story. So at this time, I would like to invite our climate action team to the chancel to help us lead this morning's movement prayer. And as they do, we invite you to rise as you are willing and able and join us. Quite the team up here, amen. Okay, first, we bow to honor the spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of spirit. We bring these gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe and smile. We share these gifts with the world. We remember to be present. Honor, embrace, gratitude, share, be present. Amen. Blessed be. So as this is a multi-generational service, we are inviting our kindergarten through high school age children and youth to remain in the worship today, especially if you want to hear the end of our story. And as a reminder, please feel free to utilize the fidget and craft items on our Wonder Wall. We do have childcare available for our youngest children if you would like to recess at this time. So as our children recess, please take this opportunity to greet your neighbor, especially someone you have not met.
Good morning. When I was growing up, I had to go to CCD classes where I was taught different stories from the Bible as history. A history that didn't make much sense to me and which became tedious as year after year I was told the same stories. I couldn't tell you a single thing about my teachers. Fast forward to now, a parent here at UUCA. Now I'm excited to have my child attend religious education because they're not being taught the same stories every year as though they're history. From what I can see, RE classes are about relationships. In RE, my kid has been able to have a glimpse of all world religions and has been able to have discussions about values that UUs hold dear, like basic universal human values to our 7 principles. And when I've talked to Gree's teachers about their class, I've been told, I learn just as much from these kids as they learn from me, maybe more. My kid and your kids aren't being told what to believe, as I was as a kid. And the adults are modeling learning and listening. Additionally, I have witnessed adults who I didn't know or realize no Gree come up and say, I was hoping you would be in class today because we talked about Japanese stuff, and I figured you'd enjoy it. These are the relationships that we want for our children. The proximity to other adults and families who show care. I appreciate other adults in this community helping Gree to grow spiritually and getting to know Gree through the RE program and otherwise. It's nice for me to see that the teachers in RE are enthusiastic and compassionate. I am incredibly grateful for the time they spend helping my kid grow spiritually and how they develop relationships with the kids. It's a real blessing to our community that members, some of whom are not even children or don't have children in the RE program, step up and take on this important role. If you feel called to participate in this endeavor here at UUCA, stop by the RE table during the social hour to speak to a member of the religious education team about children and youth programming for next year and how you can get involved. Please know that we appreciate your efforts in helping our kids and their spiritual journeys. Thanks.
My blood doth rise in the roots of yon oak, her sap doth run in my veins, boundless my soul, like the open sky, where the stars forever have lain. Where the stars, where the stars, where the stars forever have lain. My hands hold the
put hands on hearts. Feel the heartbeat. Connection to life. Breathe in peace. Exhale love. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. This love will heal our world. We send this love out to Jaleel Collins, who very tragically and unexpectedly lost his 8-year-old cousin Dominique this week. We hold Dominique's family, Jaleel and his family, in love and healing during this unimaginable time of loss. There is someone in your life who is struggling today, someone who is grieving or suffering or ill. Please bring them into this holy cloud of witnesses. Write their name on the live chat or speak their name out loud into this sacred space now. May all beings find connection. May all people find comfort. May all of us find more ways to be more loving. Spirit of life, love eternal, we rest in holy gratitude. We surrender to a mystery beyond ourselves, asking forgiveness for our mistakes, for those times when we have been selfish or thoughtless. Breathing in and out, we seek grace and we offer grace. We forgive ourselves. And we forgive each other. We begin again in love. We breathe in, opening our hearts to wonder and gratitude. We honor our sacred earth, that which supports and sustains all life. For just one moment, breathing, we feel a deep connection with all beings. Now, let us calm our bodies and our minds. We breathe in peace. We exhale. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the silence.
morning. And once again, a very happy Earth Day and a happy Earth Week. My name is Parjeet Kaur, and I was asked to say a few words about my passion for the Earth and why I believe so strongly in the Carbon Offset Fund, about which I'll talk a little bit later. Speaking of the Earth Day, for those of us who live on Earth, every day is Earth Day. And April 22nd, which is tomorrow, is simply a reminder to renew our commitment to this home. When I first became a student of biology years ago, I learned something that became foundational to my understanding. I learned that if human beings are removed from the planet, all other forms of life will survive. But if we remove other forms of life, and especially the tiniest organisms that we cannot even see with our eyes, humans will cease to exist. I realized that the system of life on Earth is bottom up, not top down. And our lives are sustained by other living organisms. Yet, we destroy wildlife habitats with impunity. We pollute water and air, we burn fossil fuels, and we release massive amounts of carbon emissions into the Earth's atmosphere, resulting in global warming. Indeed, now the task of reversing the damage that has already been done to the Earth seems overwhelming at times. And it can result in despair if we consider what needs to happen at a global level in the next just 5 to 10 years. When I am overcome by despair, I remind myself that although the climate issue is global, the most important actions I can take are still local. And if we all take actions locally, our collective actions will put our global goal well within our reach. The Carbon Offset Fund, which was created and is managed by the Climate Action Team here at UUCA, provides an important and a very wonderful opportunity for us all to act. It can offset our share of carbon emissions that are released or produced by driving, flying, and heating and cooling our homes, among other things. I have seen this fund in action. In a very short time, this fund has made one of the 2 EV chargers here on UUCA's campus possible. And it has also made possible the blueprint for a native plant pollinator garden, which is currently being planned, and it also is in the process of being installed on UUCA grounds. This could not have happened without your generosity. I believe that one EV charger and one native plant garden at a time, we can create small, safe havens for nature in our local communities, which can add up to global change. Today's Earth Day offering will be shared with our Carbon Offset Fund here at UUCA so that we can continue to alleviate our carbon footprint. Please consider donating generously today and in the future. This morning's offering will now be given and gratefully received.
So beautiful. Thank you, choir. Please join me now in this morning's dedication of our offering. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community, we dedicate our lives, and these are offerings.
So we left our story with Kai and friends on their way to City Hall. So let's see what happens next.
I need an appointment regarding this fauna who've noticed our planet's becoming a sauna. So bring us the top dog, the biggest big cheese, to solve all our problems and put us at ease.
They said,
Take a number and wait, if you please.
Kai attempted to move things along.
The fact we've been waiting for so long is quite wrong. The tiger is hungrier by the minute. This pink flamingo's reached her limit. This polar bear is far too warm. These bees can hardly form a swarm. Someone must help them. Why not you?
We see you're upset, but we've got things to do.
Kai felt beaten and quite disrespected. He never imagined that he'd be rejected. Again, he felt feelings of rage multiply. He squashed them back down and started to cry. His friends, also glum, gather round in support. They all shared their stories to make the wait short. Kai soon saw how each tale was connected, that everyone loses when one part's neglected. How would it feel if his land were depleted? His food disappeared, his home overheated? And what's to say that he wouldn't be next? He'd already noticed the weird weather effects. How could their leaders command them to wait? If they dilly-dallied, it would be too late. Kai thought deeply and then made his choice. He had to give those who had been silenced a voice. Kai stepped forward, ignoring the line. He spelled out the science and held up his sign.
When someone else suffers, the whole world's affected. The earth is our home. We have to protect it.
Despite his sound logic, he still was deflected.
Your sentiment's sweet, kid, but what you don't get is fixing these problems will put us in debt. We've done all we can. You don't understand. You're too young to grasp all the issues at hand. You've got something you still need to say? Send in a form, and we'll file it away.
Pushed to the limit, Kai saw red. He felt disregarded and mocked and misled. He did understand what this was about. It was his future they planned to sell out. Kai's strong feelings smoldered once more, and this time they were too big to ignore. Raging with purpose, his banner unfurled, he kicked off a tantrum to save the world. It rumbled down the streets into towns of all lands. It echoed across forests, on glaciers and sands. People and creatures alike felt its force. They ditched their distractions and looked for the source. There were Kai and friends holding court, telling the people to lend their support. Cooperative action could turn this high tide. They had strength in numbers and right on their side. Step one was to stop using oil, gas, and coal. Step two was to educate every last soul on practical things that they could do every day to have an effect in a positive way. They told their officials inside City Hall to pass laws with foresight to better them all. They told more people, who told more folks still. They won hearts with kindness and minds with goodwill. And so on until everyone was doing the hard work that had to be done. Kai's new friends soon waved him goodbye. They'd made second chances, had new homes to try. They asked him to visit for a weekend or two. But Kai was busy. He had things to do.
Earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. We must take care of her. Mother, I feel you. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Hey-ya, 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 hey-ya. Hey-ya, 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 hey-ya. Pick which one. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. We must take care of her. One more time. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. We must take care of her.
All right, so Lee Cook asked if I would write a little sermon. I didn't really have one until just now, but now I do. I wrote it during the service. Or I'm writing it right now. Here we go. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. But do you ever feel like you are having a tantrum at the end of the world? I mean, do you ever feel like you are screaming and shouting, look around you? And yet, people just continue to consume, to want more, to foster more independence, to continue to uplift independence as though that is a value that has ever saved anyone or that ever will. What does it really mean? What does it look like and feel like to have respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part? You know, this image of a web, so evocative, so beautiful. I think of a spider's web on a walk in the morning and the dew drops just alighting on it through the sunshine. And I want to be a part of that. But nobody really wants to think of themselves as the spider or the fly. We want to be just in it with all creation, in the web, not dominating, not plotting against everything else for our own use, not reaping, not taking. No. Respect. The interdependent web of which we are a part. We're part of it. We're not here to ruin it or even move it all that much, but to be merely a part. So how can we truly live into this kind of respect? I mean, what does it take? when life is already bearing down on us, when it's already hard to get by in this economy? Yes. Well, I think it's a little bit what Kai told us to do, micro activism. And what Parjit was mentioning, the car chargers, the gardens, micro activism. It begins small, but it can take hold of more people in your community. It can take hold of more imaginations, and it can grow and grow and get bigger still and captivate hearts and minds. And at least, if maybe you are just sort of the weirdo who insists on taking the bus everywhere you go, even that act is still modeling something hopeful, something beautiful. There is a Unitarian Universalist minister in Atlanta, Jeff Jones, who does pretty much only take the bus. And so if he's going to get together with me, we have to plan hours in advance. And sometimes there are moments where I admit I shake my head, but mostly I shake my head in wonderment and a little bit of that holy envy. I would love to be this principled, to be able to live exactly as I want to live, to be able to live in Atlanta, of all places, in exactly that way, lightly and simply. To live simply. And so the small micro acts, micro activism can become larger. You can gather more people around divestment, divesting retirement accounts, divesting from fossil fuel companies, from companies that would despoil the earth. And so the micro builds upon itself and becomes macro. Now, this is complicated. It is filled with complexity and tension. And in fact, this complexity and this tension is being played out right now in the Unitarian Universalist Association and some of the investments that they hold for our retirements and things like that who are employed by them. So this is happening everywhere in real time. But I welcome this tension. I welcome these debates and discussions. This is how we will move forward in a new future. This is how we will nurture our relationship with the earth and allow it to nurture us. This is how we will live both the love and the action that we call community. And I don't know exactly what our future holds. I don't know exactly what will happen. Perhaps more devastation. Perhaps more protest, perhaps more death, and perhaps more aliveness, perhaps more vibrancy, perhaps more aliveness, energy, and vibrancy within us as we begin to influence one another, to inspire one another with our commitments, the commitments of our lives. And the good news for Unitarian Universalists, and especially Universalists, I think it's our universalism that speaks for all of us and welcomes us into a new future where we behave more independently. Interdependently. So this is our good news. If you are already living with an ethic of interdependence, and in fact what is really going to mean utter dependence, then you are all ready for the future. You are all ready for this next phase of living on earth, because it is not our independence that will save us. It is our interdependence. It is those tiny acts, the carpooling, the community gardens, the mutual aid, the communal living. In this way, by our beliefs and our values, we truly shall be saved, and maybe not just us, but the entire world. So lift up this value of interdependence wherever you go, and know that it makes you ready for a new future that will hold devastation, that will hold life, and will also hold the beauty of this earth. And I want to close with one final story that takes place in the city of Prague, far away in the land of what used to be Czechoslovakia. in the year 1923, there was a Unitarian church. But the building didn't look much like a church. It was up on a hill, but it had no bells, no spires, no stained glass windows. It didn't even have a piano. It had no chalice, no candles. It had no flowers. I mean, the church did have some things. It had 4 walls. It had a ceiling and a floor, doors and a few windows. It had some wooden chairs, but all very plain, very simple. I wonder what made it a church then.
The people.
The people. Yes, it was the people who came to it every Sunday. And the church also happened to have a minister named Norbert Chopek. Every Sunday, Minister Chopek went to church. He spoke to the people while they listened, sitting quietly and sitting in those wooden chairs. And that was all. No music, no candles, not even coffee and cake. Can you believe it? But when springtime came to the city of Prague, Norbert Chopek went on a stroll. The rains had come. The birds were singing. The flowers were blooming all across the land. The world was beautiful. Then an idea came to him, simple and clear, plain as day. The next Sunday, he asked all of the people in the church to each bring a flower or a budding branch or even a twig. Each person was to bring just one. What kind, they asked. What color? What size? It's your choice, he said. Each of you should choose what you like. And so on the next Sunday, which was the first day of summer, people came with flowers of all different colors and sizes and kinds. There were yellow daisies and red roses. There were white lilies and blue asters, dark-eyed pansies, light green leaves, pink, purple, orange, gold. There were all those colors and more. Flowers filled all the vases, and the church wasn't so plain and simple anymore. Minister Chopek spoke to the people while they listened, sitting quiet and still in those hard wooden chairs. These flowers, he said, are like us. Different colors, different shapes, different sizes, each needing different kinds of care, but each one beautiful, each important and special in its own way. When he was done speaking, each person chose a different flower from the vases, not the one they had brought, but a different one before they went home. A flower that represented the uniqueness, the beauty of the community that gathered. And that was all. It was beautiful, plain, and simple as the day. But our story does not end here. During World War II, Norbert Chopek spoke out publicly against the Nazis for the horrible things they were doing to the Jewish people. And for this, he was imprisoned and put into a concentration camp. And it is said that Chopek displayed a marvelous spirit while he was there. He wrote songs and led the other prisoners in singing. He said he did this to keep the true Czech enthusiasm high in spite of their condition. Well, Norbert Chopek died in that concentration camp. And today, we honor him. His vision of the beauty and uniqueness of the beloved community that gathers wherever it gathers, and his courage to protest and to speak out against unfairness. His wife brought his flower ritual, flower communion, to the United States, to America, where Unitarian churches across the nation celebrate this tradition during springtime. And so as we participate in our own flower communion, may its message and meaning be alive in our hearts, inviting us to be faithful partners in the creation of life and the creation of beloved community, guiding us into right relationship with all of humanity and all of the earth. and the interconnected web of all life, inviting us to save what is beautiful and to savor the beauty too. The beauty of this earth is precious and deserves our presence, our notice, our celebration, and our protection. And so our flower communion shall begin. Many of you brought your own flowers from the gardens of your hearts, tender, precious shoots into this community of love and justice. And so now it is time to come forward in a line, one by one, and take a flower, take a piece of someone else's heart, a piece of their hope for this hurting world, for this precious faith. So when I gesture to your section, you may come down and silently take a flower and then go out into the day in peace and love. Go out into this greening world, into this verdant day we have been given. Come forward.
You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere you are free. Run away, find you a lover. Go away somewhere all bright and new. I have seen no other who compares to you, for you belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, find you a lover. Run away, let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of cover. You belong in that home by and by, for you belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry. You belong somewhere you feel free. You belong somewhere you feel free. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry. somewhere you feel free. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your troubles and worry. You belong somewhere you feel free. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, go find a lover. Run away, let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of cover. You belong in that home by and by, for you belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry.